Goes right at Mitchell. Lost his footing. A loose ball dug out by Meyer. The acceleration and the left-handed scoop. But
I like what I think Oklahoma State's done tonight, and that is mix up the defenses. This kid's so good. Meyer over. He came to that 2-foot stop and was under control.
Davion Mitchell at the free throw line with an answer.
In the half court today, if Baylor wins this game, it will be because of the screening of the bigs.
Mitchell, again, that one-handed left hand.
It's always been this competitive, maybe more so this year, actually.
And we still have another one tomorrow. The winner of this game gets Texas for the title. Foul.
Watch the adjustments, Bob. We talked about Cunningham and his teammates. Watch Boone on the screen. He's going to open up right in the elbow. Stay right.
Bound T. Davion Mitchell explodes and banks one in.
All three.
8 to shoot. Teague off to Vital. Back to Mitchell.
Great cut. Get your feet educated. Be squared before you catch it.
Davion Mitchell knocks it down. Over Baylor for Kansas State.
Mike McGurl was rubber band man that time, the way he passed that ball around the defender.
Davion Mitchell. Davion Bradford. Chachua challenges him.
This entire place is packed like it usually is. The best postseason tournament I think there is. It's always here in the Power and Light District.
Pack lets a three.
He said it.
Well, it'll be a proving ground start next week when they all start to play each other. And we'll see how many of these
did well in that game, and he's a guy that's now picked it up. And they need him, especially going to tournament action. He and Shannon have committed. What a great drive. What a great drive. What about the scorer and rebounder, kid named Hempel? And I'll tell you this, they say he's going to come back for the tournament. So I hope the committee looks at that.
Lock
it. When those kind of shots go down.
Can Mitchell answer? Yes, he can. 17 points to lead all scorers. And Baylor's got the 5-point lead. So 31 is as hot as could be.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Not at all. I'm going to give the edge to Texas Tech in baseball. They got a great program there for years.
Butler lobs it. And hanging from the rim. Chachua. Jared Butler. Yes.
It's almost common.
More difficult to help, and Caleb Boone has been on a tear and he can finish equally well with his right or his left. What a cut. Davion Mitchell. Well, Baylor forces about 18 turnovers a game. They have one of the best turnover percentage rates in the country, and Davion Mitchell.
The final minute plus in the first half.
And one of the few times that Baylor didn't get back with a sense of purpose in transition.
Good. And now the other way. That would have been huge for Oklahoma State. Mitchell got a three. Oh, that.
And Mark Vital is able to pull it down.
We know Baylor's got a good backcourt. There's that speed. Look at that right there. Oh, totally agree. Christian Brown at Kansas. I love his energy. Harkless at Oklahoma. Brock Cunningham at Texas. I agree. As that shot clock did not reset.
Down to 5. Davion Mitchell. One-on-one. There's the step back. And there's the three.
Kid Sinclair that you need to take a peek at because he just lit us up. He sent Eric Martin over to see Sean McNeil. I told you the story. He left Bell
player for either team to pick up his 4th foul.
Remember, Culver's got 3, Bob.
Davion Mitchell out of control. A loose ball, though, to Teague.
Lesson to be learned here. I don't think anybody's opting out today.
Matthew. 26 for Taz Sherman. Baylor West Virginia, they have been arguably the two best.
8 threes per game.
Little floppy set for Davion Mitchell, but Jalen Wilson right there on the catch.
Yeah, but then Mitchell with a base. Minute projections from Joey Brackets with 7 Big 12 teams all appearing to be comfortably in the field. Oklahoma State moved up from an 8 at the start of the day to a.
Have your feet set. He is automatic. Used to play for the Presbyterian Blue Hose.
That's right. A 7-0 run for the Bears and a turnover and a Mitchell. Well, other people have told me it's my job to build up your confidence because it appears that sometimes you struggle with your. Don't give away all of our secrets. Mitchell disrupting the inbounds play, and then he lays it in at the.
Perhaps the 6th man of the year in the Big 12 this season. Transfer from Presbyterian. Mitchell against Harris. Oh, he hangs and he hits.
But I think they'll bounce back. But that's a perfect example right there. Davion Mitchell never allows that.
Mitchell knocks down the 3. But the lead back to 4.
That's all the bait. Davion and Jared do the same thing. They both play out that hesitation right there. They'll get you in their pause.
Jared Butler, 9 of his 12 coming here in the second half. Giving it up to Mitchell. Mitchell slashes in for 2.
Man-to-man defense, nothing very fancy. They'll come out and challenge you man-to-man.
Mitchell step back, got it. This is
well, when they played in that game and you did the game, they played without 3 key players. I mean, Sims didn't play, Ramey didn't play, and Cunningham.
Mitchell with the buck. Flagler splits his defense, kicks to Mitchell as they move the basketball nicely. Mitchell gets a 3.
Think about Gonzalez, great tight end of all time. You think of a number of guys have made that move. Oh, look at this one-on-one move. Look at
Mitchell
this one-on-one
uses
move.
the basket on the. There's Mitchell, gets that
serious
shot clock.
3 fouls on Butler could be big in the second half of this game.
Mitchell got it. Oh, that's.
And they got 34 to 47 points to backcourt. Got to get Brown going a little bit.
Just beyond the free throw line.
Mitchell down and really hurt his teams. Right there. Play like that could be detrimental big time.
Yeah, Mitchell just too quick. Get Butler with the bigger Sims on him. Shot clock winding down. Mitchell gets inside, lays it in. Well, this body needs tacos.
It's
Mitchell going to work, the bigger Sims on him. Step back. Got it. Wow.
Right now in college basketball. And you got some good teams behind them, the Michigans, the Villanovas. But these 2 teams are just head and shoulder better. But the beauty of
about 8 years. Two shots at the rim for Baylor so far, not going down. So the challenge inside is going to be to score over length early. He recognized that his pass would lead to a 2-on-1. He didn't try to make the home run play. He made the simple play.
Yeah, right there, Davion
Player of the year along with Luka Garza.
Cooper gets inside and Sharif answers.
Yeah, now a bit of an offensive groove, which they did not have in the first half.
Mitchell whips it right side. Flagler to great.
Mark Vital, Mr. Do Work, as he calls himself on his Twitter handle, and that's what he does. All the dirty work. Nice drive by Davion Mitchell. This is a man who has been on quite the roller coaster ride throughout his career. He had such success at Illinois, moved over to Kansas State. He won a Big 12 title,
probably more than 5 or 6. I mean, it's really, I mean, those guys are allowed such freedom within this offense, and they're so dynamic. Those guys, when they set a ball screen at the top, the Baylor big guys, they get a run. And it really, here's another live ball turnover. My goodness. You know, what they have done here at Baylor, they look out for each other. It's really incredible.
Davion Mitchell. Good point. Mark Vital has shown up in this second half offensively. 8 points, 4 for 4 from the field. That goes along with his 5 rebounds.
That pass being completed is on the guy who's waiting there wide open, calling for the ball. You can hear Mitchell do it with hardly any fans in the building.
That word you home to Texas Tech and home to the Texas Longhorns. Welcome to life in the Big 12. Well, tomorrow night it's a clash of SEC powerhouses
because this is almost a 50-point game.
And we talked to Scott Drew about that. What drives your team from Jump Street
is really instrumental in getting a guard in the direction of going downhill and getting the guard started in.
Bamba, one of the very few handful of Baylor players who didn't actually.
But, you know, Bamba's been a good soldier. You know, he came in, he was going to bide his time as a freshman. He was playing behind Tristan Clark. And then all of a sudden, Freddie Gillespie comes to control.
You must maintain position because they just destroy your interior defense with a scramble.
Yeah, Mike Boyd also told us that extra pass is huge, and there's the...
Wasn't that good? Little push. This is where they're dangerous in the early. Make threes or go to the rim.
Beautiful look as Mitchell cuts to the basket.
Foot or so, that delivers.
7 tie, and now the turnover forced by the Bears. Here comes Butler, leaves it for it, cutting Davion.
Round and
We got Ice Likely playing center right now.
And we got Vital muscling his way right to the... Davion Mitchell finds Meyer going backdoor, and he lays it in. Taylor's over the limit. So the freshman M.A. Moncrief will shoot a 1-and-1. Only a 55% free throw shooter during the regular season. Couldn't stop Davion Gordon from getting Kansas State on the board. Teague from the corner. Yes.
That was a
uncontested rebound for Vital. That's his 8th to go along with 5 assists. Mark Vital's got 2 points and yet contusion, and so as a result wearing the protective mask for senior day today. And he's got it right along the baseline with the shot clock down to 6. Muscles one up, and on senior day. On the end of what very well could be a Big 12 Player of the Year season. Even with the COVID pause that Baylor suffered through, he has had an incredible season, and boy, had an undefeated home season at the Farrell Center.
That started at the Farrell Center in 1988.
For Jonathan. Navigated our way through in college basketball. Should be a different kind of selection Sunday.
I really do. It's not apples to apples when you're comparing teams. I just know that the kid shot one time. Never does.
Davion Mitchell with the rebound off the Edwards miss. Another 3 on the way. That one off the mark from Flag.
Introducing McDonald's new spicy, crispy chicken sandwich.
It is good to be Maceo Teague today. It's good to be Baylor. They are 4
young people. You see the rotation. I mean, man, is he shooting the rock. Is he shooting the rock? He's the NBN man today. Nothing.
Because they shoot 42%. It's an excellent offensive rebounding team. They force a ton of turnovers. Baylor gets extra possessions. Great screen for the screener. Jared Buck trying to throw behind you against this defense that is sprinting down the court behind the play, and you're going to turn it over every time. Butler again splashes. Guard Caleb Boone got switched off on him, fronted him, wouldn't let the ball go inside, and then blocked out as well. Meyer rampaging to the rim for 2 more against Cade Cunningham. And Maceo Teague has length as well. His arms go forever. There he is in the corner, and Baylor love to have this kind of bench distance to stay away from the head coach, who usually wanted to yell at me for everything I did. That's another great pass. Has clawed its way to a 2-possession game in this one, and the zone has been helpful. Meyer down low on a great thread through from Mitchell. Zing. Zing. But that's something, it's not all on the officials. That's something the rules committee has to clean up. We've got to change the way we called him the baseline.
Meyer had to save it as he got into his own teammate Mitchell off the pitch ahead, and a pull-up 3 is...
Are so big and so strong, and they use every inch of the playing surface now. Would you widen the court? Would you lengthen it to respond to the bigger, faster player?
You want to come back for another senior year. I think it's a good idea. Take advantage of what the NCAA has laid out and continue to play. Visited, and Bob said, why don't you just spend your redshirt year here instead of going to high school? Practice against our guys every day. He has really made a great performance. The rim is open, by the way. The rim is open. They had him.
Will switch a lot on the perimeter, and again, Baylor's got so many different guys who can hurt you in their backcourt. Thamba with a 12-footer, but he knocks it down. You and I have been fortunate enough to do so many games there. When they've got 16,300 in there, pre-COVID, and hopefully post-COVID again at some point, as Vital scores.
And he goes after it and does it well. I mean, I remember last year when Devon Dotson was out, he had to take over the point at Oklahoma and had a great game. I mean, you don't get a layup that wide open in halftime warmups.
Teague again.
Oh, no.
Javen Johnson and Jaden Walker will come off the bench for the Cyclones after they were benched in the second half against Oklahoma. Nice feed. Thamba the finish. Davion Mitchell. The Cyclones are 6 of 7 from beyond the arc.
One thing that happens when you let people start making shots on you, they get more and more confident. Adam Flagler hit the mission right there.
Butler. Nice ball movement. Butler to Mitchell to Teague for
not foul and let the big slide over to try to contest that. But take away the jumper first and foremost, but let the big clean up everything else.
Flagler, a corner triple.
Right now in a game against a team like Baylor, who's so unbelievable, physical, quick, athletic.
Butler from the
Poise, patience led the points. The 3 Ps. I like that. Poise, patience, and points. That's a new one, the 3 Ps.
Rainey spinning, lost the handle, squirts out Mitchell. Here come the Bears. They got numbers.
Oh, nice
Ball fake and bucket. Maceo Teague.
The Yankees in their division by 5 games with a $200 million payroll. And now we got the Bucks playing. And there's a jam and a finish for the Baylor Bears.
By your defender, those guards will step in and take charges.
What adjustments do you anticipate Baylor to make?
You know, I just think that because they have not done a good job on the glass.
Look at the edge and offensive rebounding. Meyer, 3, got it. Big clock winding down. And that one saved. Feed inside, and they got an easy look for Maceo. Baylor basketball to start the second half, and back underway. Baylor by 5. See what they do to try and get the offense going. And right there.
50-50 call because in the judgment of the official, he didn't have 2 feet firmly planted on the ground. He was moving. I disagree. I thought he was legal. Started his career at Baylor last year, 10 for 37 behind the arc. He did not shoot it well at Auburn as a freshman, but he has become...
And then the dunk to make it a 13-point game.
Obviously a danger zone for Auburn, but again, Bruce Pearl...
A real recruiting advantage that Auburn, basically, Atlanta's right in their backyard.
I was surprised to know that Atlanta is closer.
And what can you take from a game like that, Chris?
It's a great question. I mean, first of all, you know, and I started out saying you got to limit threes. I mean, Baylor.
Here's Teague in transition. The one more to Meyer. And an and one opportunity for. Deep 3 by Butler, and he's got it. Recruits coming into college game, and Moses Moody and Cade Cunningham. Here in Waco, it's 64-32. Number 2 Baylor rolling against the Kansas. He had that the last time out against Kansas State. It's a 40-point lead.
Oklahoma State winning the rebounding battle so far. And Pryor's able to catch the ball. Oklahoma State. That's 8 points for Bryce Williams. He has 2 threes. Mitchell into the paint, kicks it out for Flagler for 3, and the answer is 4. Davion Mitchell. Bounce pass inside of Vital, wide open.
What a great play. A lot of people envision him top 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they wondered if he would keep his commitment as Vital gets his second bucket of the...
Good balance, though.
Yeah, Mike Boynton told us he does not want to discourage his team from taking the first open 3 as long as it's a good
Heck of a coach.
255 games that his team has been ranked since he took over.
Oh, pretty play.
And Vital so athletic underneath on the...
If you're Oklahoma State.
Butler hovering a little bit. Mitchell.
Nice replace.
Butler for 3. It's good.
You could go straight up man.
Mitchell in the game for the first time. He's covering the ball.
They went the zone again.
And another 3 by Vital. How about that? The extra hand by Butler.
Absolutely.
They're telling Teague to shoot it from the baseline, and he does.
And as McCormick is surrounded and
Davion Mitchell took his milk money, and it leads to a dunk at the other end. Deadly from three-point range against Central Arkansas.
Davion Mitchell has been hitting from long range, and last year he was, you see another three from Jared
Butler firing. Triple is off the mark. Loose ball tipped out to Mitchell. Butler, runner, good by Jared Butler. Gonzaga canceled on December 5th, postponed initially, and now looks like there's not going to be a spot for that to happen. Jonathan Chachua off the bench, and he takes the. He is Baylor's all-time winningest coach. Baylor has reached tremendous heights under Coach Drew. Stab. How about the alley-oop to Jonathan? That was the Ole Miss team, and Anthony Boone was a part of that Ole Miss team, and he remembered it. He remembers it very well. I don't think he'll ever forget that.
One of those too many careless turnovers, allowing Central Arkansas to get easy points, easy buckets that they normally don't give up.
Three left-hand corner. Good-looking shot by Flagler, as King said. Still Baylor's leading scorer on the season. And firing in. Baylor leading the nation in three-point percentage. There's L.J. Cryer helping that. You know that area pretty well. You probably made a lot of trips there, haven't you?
Almost 2-3 times a year.
Nice break by Baylor after a couple of misses. Thamba, the defense of Jared Chatham there in the paint. Baylor comes away with the ball, and Thamba gets the feed and ends up with the bucket at the other end.
Hines chewed out in the locker room because of the defense and the lack of defense that was shown in the first half.
Nice inbounds to Jonathan Chumwa.
Or whatever you want to call him to do this, that is very impressive. That's a skill that NBA teams look for.
Here's the alley-oop to Chachua. How about both? Jonathan Chachua playing defense. Davion Mitchell comes in to help, gets the steal ahead to Matt Meyer, who banks it in. On the feet. Shot up no good by Bell. Rebound Baylor. Davion Mitchell. Up the floor, and there it is. Vital finishes that one with the. Joshua Johnson forced into that travel there. So there's that defense King was talking about. Oh, nice bounce pass down low. Mark Vital, the easy bank-in basket. And the Bears have the rebound, take it the other way. Fourth steal by Baylor, leading 28-4. Meyer ripples the net cords with a three.
Your body, the key to what makes a defense good.
Great example there. We're back to play, and there is Jonathan Chachua. Davion Mitchell retreats to get it.
I think that was backcourt. They might have missed that one.
So did Coach Ivory. For 5 straight games, first time since December of 2017. They do it tonight, and they are right on the precipice of doing that, and there they are at that.
3. This is from Gordon. Quick outlet, here comes Mitchell. Here's a lob, Chachua finishes it off.
It matters, and Baylor has done a great job over the years of staying on.
Butler from Mitchell. Got a lot of work to do on the boards to reach that. Batted around into the hands of Mitchell, and up ahead, Teague slams it.
And let those athletes go get it.
Solomon, a sophomore out of Houston Klein Forest High School, gives SFA the lead. There is Jared Butler through both. And the rebound by the Bears. Davion Mitchell into the front court. Boy, they jet into the offensive end quickly. And there's another layup. And the Bears have another takeaway. Flagler comes out of there with the ball to Cryer, to Mitchell. 3 left side is in.
This kid goes.
That'll get you rewarded, right, with all these guards? If you're a big man that'll run the floor. There's Jared Butler firing a 3 and nailing it from the left corner.
And that's been a nice wrinkle to watch in the early part of the season.
3-point play by Cameron Johnson makes it 52-30. Bears on top.
Tools to do it, no question about it. But it's just the mentality of, kind of go for the kill when you have him in that position defensively. What a nice play.
Wow.
Another alley-oop.
4 to shoot. Mitchell back to Flagler. Long 3. It's good. He drains it.
A total of 2 games. I mean, you talk about a guy who has taken a program to another level. Look at this feed. And Meyer with a reverse. Just a beautiful of the Bears. Butler around and out, got it back. Wide open Flagler. Yes.
The best time to shoot.
A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Tomorrow we
beat the top 4 is kind of ludicrous.
I saw today something like, I believe, something around 80% of college football games that were on the schedule have been played. A reasonably representative college basketball season.
Well, it's stressful. I mean, you're preparing for a game you think you're going to play. I mean, Baylor thought they were going to Connecticut to be down the middle of the floor. Dosunmu, he's had 2 open shots, both of them in transition from about the same spot. Other than that, he's had you have to rely on your teammates to rotate down. But you got to stop the ball first. You can't worry about a drop off before it happens.
Down the low post, Thamba. And now there's Mitchell. Bounce pass underneath. Vital with the finish for 2. So then Chachua shot rejected on the rebounding attempt. Meyer keeps it alive. Here's Flagler for 3. Good. Plays very hard, as we can tell from everything we've seen. Mitchell up top. Mitchell dribble penetration, leaves it off underneath. And Vital with 43-28 is your score. It's Mitchell. He's sealed off. Outside for 3. Butler's. And he's just much stronger than Nate Roberts, who's a huge guy, a huge man. 6'11 and 265. And Vital at 6'5. Nice play. Nobody home there defensively for Baylor. 57-33. High post. And that little shot in film. See what you did, good and bad. Butler, 9 on the timer. Mitchell's going to penetrate off the drive. Kick it back outside. Here's Butler, 3. Good. Got in too deep. Threw it up underneath the glass. And we see where Butler was shaken up momentarily, coming back the other way. Drilling the 3 is Teague. Back up top for Mitchell. Mitchell, he's double teamed, sealed off, and Butler for 3, and that is good. Point shooting so far in this game, 8 out of 13 for Baylor. As advertised, you've got L.J. Cryer. There's a wide open look, and that's Cryer. That's Cryer. He has 16 points in the first half of play. So let's see if they could pick it up where they left off. 3-point range, Butler squares up. That's money. That's money. And here's Wilson, and his step back 3-point attempt is off the mark. And back the other way, here's Butler running the court, lay it up with the left hand for 2. So the inbound pass comes into Davion Mitchell. Off the screen, Flagler from 3-point range, and that's good. They'll call that Cryer, who says that his favorite player in the NBA is Damian Lillard, and that's who he said he models his game after. Let's see if he could connect again.
Opportunity after opportunity, and the little guy doesn't get it. That's my only statement, and I'm going to be very kind to the committee and very nice.
Horrible break for Villanova.
Throw away by Butler off the turnover. Oh, swatted away.
Good defensive pressure out at the top.
Oklahoma State without a field goal in its last 4 minutes, likely trying to answer that.
Got to go.
Vital with a bump underneath.
Got to be thrilled with this first half.
Baylor is now 5 of 12 from 3. Nice catch by Rudy Williams.
Players. Texas Tech's got to get Shannon going and Kyla Edwards, and Edwards has been playing a lot better.
Seeds and 2 seeds, according to Joey Brackets, will come from the Big Ten, and Dick's hard to argue with anyone on that list.
Well, you know, I usually scream. Man, I don't think I've ever seen Reggie and Mullen and Alford do this in a game situation. 10 for 11 against a team that defends fairly well. Look at that.
A big running back out there, a 6'5" running back, a fullback. Leads the team in offensive rebounds and blocks. He gets steals. Just what a great as a starter. It's a pretty darn good record in a league as good as the Big 12.
I mean, for a Baylor team that has built so well under Scott Drew as to sneak in there.
You know, one high-ranking executive sent me a message after that game, and
Garrett. And a hard foul.
Offense started, initiated, and actually do something to put Baylor on their heels.
Bolton with space. Oh, erased by Vital.
Great background in his family. Dad played, mother. His uncle was a great one of the all-time leaders in steals at Texas. I think he's doubled his.
Go top in offensive efficiency for Gonzaga, and then Baylor top 3 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Jones inside, shot.
Teague still on Cooper.
Oklahoma State with a 1-point lead.
Drive it.
And Williams will do just that, but he's flushed out. Angle was tough. Vital can live down there, can he?
Oh, he carves out so much area as well. For a little bump here.
Maceo Teague made 10 threes in the season finale against Texas Tech on Sunday. That's pretty good playmaking.
So many guys are good athletes, runners, jumpers. They can't convert.
TV in the mid-range.
We've talked about Baylor's ability to answer. Can they answer here?
Second chance tipped up, and teammates notice it as well. Transfer from Arkansas, who has been a great addition. He's their Dennis Rodman.
As Sherman guard.
Hey, you know how I feel about this kid. He's going to be playing professional basketball someday. He has no...
Garrett off to Jalen Wilson. Wilson coming off a 16-point
12. And he can really drill it. Talk about when you have your feet set. He is automatic. Used to play for the Presbyterian Blue Hose.
Over 15 minutes in, Jay, and Jared Butler has not scored a point yet in this game after scoring 30 against the any surefire lock first-round draft picks. But tell us what you think about Mitchell and Butler at the next level. Piece of that.
He certainly bothered it, and Flagler was looking for a foul. Thought he'd get it. Walk. Just right there. Otherwise, he's been shut out. A total donut.
Yet Baylor still is hanging around, down by 7. And we get a...
Final on Coleman lands. Off the fake.
Baylor already putting up half 100 with 2.5 to go in the first half. Playing inspired basketball. And so you got to take advantage of every time you're out there on that floor playing a game. And so I think regardless of the score, he's getting his team a run, and he's going to play them because you never know what happened. The ball, he'll turn and he'll point at Vital and complain to him. Why didn't you throw it to me? He said, I didn't even know you were there. Yeah. So a lot of times that pass being, they're not mailing anything in. They are not giving up any possessions, and that's why they're good. I mean, that's why they are. Yeah, no question. I mean, you know, you look at the lineage of bigs now that they're developing here at Baylor, or have had, frankly. I would never call him Spatola. And now Davion Mitchell is just getting
your help. Yeah.
Chama, Chechua.
He had a big game against Kansas. And right to the basket. That shot is Fort Wayne. As that ball is blocked away from behind. Loose ball picked up in the paint by Boone. Boone to the basket. Didn't have the... Who obviously has had her Twitter account blown up after Bernie wore those at the inauguration. And how about the power there?
And had a pretty good look at a 3.
He could possibly reach this past week after they won the championship to thank them for 18 years of hard work. Back in the deep corner. Really well done.
McGurl, offensive foul. He warded off Shannon. 8 to shoot.
Maybe next year is going to be one heck of a special player. And for me this year,
launches a three. Pressure free throws off the bench for Adam Flagler, who came.
I think the thing that makes Baylor so good is that they have older players who can handle this, which is why I think. Oh, I thought he was going to make another one, which is
experience, injuries, COVID protocols. They have a 3-point lead over undefeated Baylor in the final 7 minutes.
Oh.
And now Harris against the best on-ball defender in the country. Mitchell staying in front of him, and he forces the travel.
Teague still on Cooper.
It's big day today, including those three threes.
They got a great class coming in. They've got a kid by the name.
Too much attention anyhow.
He has gotten a lot of attention this year.
He doesn't handle it well either.
They try to answer, and they did. Flagler, one of the great success stories, transferring from Presbyterian to Baylor. Little spacing for Oklahoma State. Shot clock is at 5. 3-pointer.
In your league, you got to go toe-to-toe with them, and you can't play scared.
Quick trigger by Cunningham. No. Vital with a bump underneath.
Can't do that.
Careless. And Mitch against the 9 seed in the quarterfinal round of the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship.
If you would have told Bruce Weber with step back, really accurate in that 10-foot, what we call that mid to high paint range.
McNeil.
Get back to where they were. Of course, it's still uncharted territory. So he wasn't exactly sure, didn't know how much to practice, how many games.
You know, such a remarkable game that Dick Vitale gave him a standing ovation when he went off the floor. And oftentimes when
because only 5% of the game is scoring. Everything else is 90 to 95% of the game, and that's what Mark prides himself in. He wants to be Mr. 95.
21. Tyler Harris has 20.
For sure, Bowden has to do a better job of taking care of the basketball, especially in crucial situations.
Coleman lands off the screen.
Offense started, initiated, and actually do something to put Baylor on their heels.
Bolton with space. Oh, erased by Vital.
They all drive it, and the outstanding spacing in the half court is what creates the openings for those drives. And you're playing a team tonight.
Catch. I was throwing down base, and Maceo Teague was throwing back mid-range in that shot.
This offense, you're doing a lot of that for these ball-dominant guards.
They got to get Butler going. They got to need a big game out of Butler. He had a big game against Texas.
Today. Is it possible to have a quiet 10 assists?
Is it possible to have a quiet game? Man defense by the Bears. Tackle Reese will drive. Layup. Good. Falls in. Butler, the preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, and really says a lot about him as a person, selected to that NCAA Oversight Committee. Student athlete.
AU up top. Akuba. And AU from three-point range swing. And Ensemble, that will be his first personal. Duguay underneath with the entry pass on the cutter.
There's also a psychological element to this game, simply because you don't want to lose confidence this late point in conference play.
The foul's going to be called, and it's going to put points on the board. And it's up to Lon Kruger to figure out how to get those guys open.
Well, they need more.
Last 5 games coming in is 8 of 14 from three-point line. Before that, he'd been shooting 26% on the season. So they
need a good shot. We can't take too much time doing it. Halliburton for 3.
I like the 10 points. Want to see somebody else score now. Nice, like underneath, right there.
Go with the team is very talented, very young. One of the youngest teams in the country.
Running to the goal right there. Febris couldn't hit, but he's...
Tonight's game, don't you think?
It is. A lot's made about Butler's tempo. And look, they're not like Virginia, where they are intentionally.
And he's normally known for a catch-and-shoot guy. Guess he's exploring the elements of his game today.
Inbounds it comes. Square.
Ice can play center because he doesn't have to worry about Chamwa Chachua shooting from the perimeter.
Cunningham. Keelan Boone. Dribbled it off his foot and winning the battle. And Cunningham to Boone. Oh, he just
It's a great pass. We call that a baseline drive, baseline drift. As the ball went baseline, Flagler drift.
Maceo Teague floats it.
Is in the low paint. Just makes sense.
Foul on Meyer as he tripped up Billy past the midway point of the first half. So a sloppy start for the 1 seed, although Davion Mitchell gets a deflection and a steal. Jared Butler.
That's great D.
8 to shoot. He'll try again. Behind the back, leans of like 7 that weekend, right? That introduced you?
No, those are 2. The gala and the house party.
Baylor with 10 in the first 3 and change.
And to your point, Jason, another really good screen by Flo Thamba. It came at the elbow going in a
0 call, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it should be. But if you're saying, well, I wasn't sure, if it could have gone either way, it's a block, period.
Have as a final act today. It's an 8-point game. Bryce Williams with the ball now. And a beautiful find and a rim rush 3.
And that's usually a rebound on the offensive end that Jonathan Chachua would come up with, but he didn't look like himself on that one.
Thamba and Chachua combining to split the minutes of the 5 spot for the Bears on most nights. And Mitch Light. Garrett. And a hard foul.
Thumba's tired right now because they're constantly putting them in ball screen situations. And Iowa State has a smart game plan by setting the ball on a night in, night out basis.
And guys who could start on any other team in the league, perhaps the country, and Flagler and Meyer and others. Oh, Bolton again from...
They're just great leaders.
3-point lead. Now Mitchell with the steal.
No, they call him every, he told me yesterday on the phone when I spoke to Coach Drew, he said, just call him.
Off the glass.
His stuff's got to be going
Scurry and those guys, Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt.
Yeah, he's good money at the end of the game. He's got that winner's mentality.
Coleman step back, 3, look, I am Dick Vitale on 11, I'm in for. Inside, and Sims couldn't.
Averaging 26 points and 7 dimes in his 2 games last week.
I talked to 2. Nice set play here. Nicely done. Good 9-something if you're Bruce Weber.
Here's Miguel. Well, so far.
Those guys, when they set a ball screen at the top, the Baylor big guys, they get a run. And it really is.
Oklahoma State with a 1-point lead. Drive it. And Williams will do just that, but he's flushed out. Angle was tough.
Kids like this, when they come to the huddle, they have concepts,
no doubt,
thoughts. I know what we can do, what we can run. Nice slip here.
They bring in Chachua.
Keelan Boone dribbled it off his foot and winning the battle. And
they're not going to guard the two bigs out top, so they have to become screeners.
Chamo Chachua, no, Vital, yes.
Can't do that.
Careless, and Mitchell passed the midway point of the first half. So a sloppy start for the 1 seed, although Davion Mitchell gets a deflection and a steal. He gets double teamed. Mitchell takes it away. Texas Tech is the #1 points against defensive team in the Big 12. So they can lock you down, but now they turn it over.
The offensive rebound. He is extraordinarily energetic. Caleb Boone is, as he sets up a second chance for Oklahoma State. That Cunningham got a lot of space. Entry pass deflected and taken.
You know, such a remarkable game that Dick Vitale gave him a standing ovation when he went off the floor. And oftentimes when but not having a road win, especially this year where road crowds are not the difficult factor that they.
Because only 5% of the game is scoring. Everything else is 90 to 95% of the game, and that's where Mark prides himself in. He wants to be Mr. 95. They're just great leaders.
3-point lead. Now Mitchell with the steal.
Drop the glass.
His stuff's got to be going
Scurry and those guys. Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt.
Yeah, he's good for a future Kai Jones. Can't teach that athleticism. He can't teach that size.
His team offensive rebounding.
Yeah, this year #4. They've been #4 on average for a
big. And he's become a really good passer.
Meyer Jr. at all so far.
Those guys, when they set a ball screen at the top, the Baylor big guys, they get a run. And it really is.
His career high is 20. He had that the last time out against Kansas State.
Shot clock at 5. Shot is off the front of the rim. Anderson, no look pass cut off.
Well, actually, the only arguably one of the most popular athletes to ever grace this Fort Worth campus.
And the first Horned Frog to be around out there for Chamo Chachua as we go into the final minute of the game.
That's not his shot, but that's one of those, hey, we're up 18, big guy.
Now, look, I don't know if I'd want to coach him. That's where good on Scott Drew. He's done a great job with Meyer, but he does show some flashes.
Looking for some help. Johnson got caught in the air and saw him.
I agree, Chuck. You felt like there was some contact initially, but Vital coming over and blocking that shot.
Taken away. Butler and Mitchell combining. Baylor has led by 10 or more points in 7 of their 8 games at halftime. Bolton just handed that to Davion Mitchell. Look at him, almost thrown away. Oh, Bolton just a bad decision.
Is Baylor did come off of a game yesterday, so it's not an excuse. But as we see, a great steal for Davion Mitchell. But I think it might.
That was all started by the steal by Meyer on the defensive end.
And I think Meyer has also gotten better defensively too.
Mississippi Valley, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Upcoming games for these Alcorn State Braves. Oh, ball just taken away here in the Farrell Center. Gives us really a bird's eye listen in to the coaches and their instructions a lot of times. You can hear them very. Baylor Bears lead by 15.
I feel like Coach Drew is one of those coaches that's just never going to leave the program. I think he's going to just like retire.
Jonathan Chachua playing defense. Davion Mitchell comes in to help. Gets the
builder. Jay, he didn't like being called that. Everyday John has been playing really well. See the turnover. Davion Mitchell is the leader. He's going to go in there. He's going to play hard, play with a motor, and Flo just feeds off of it.
Another steal by Baylor. Mark Vital getting his foot in.
And no third opportunity. McGurl ahead.
looking for Miguel, but there to pick that off. Boy, Williams has got Mitchell all over and gets a screen and could not get it to
here in Waco.
Be a man-to-man defense all the way for the Bears. Davion Mitchell will take the ball as he, I mean, literally take the ball.